To be very honest, Zanzibar was never really on my bucket list. Yes, I knew it was a honeymoon spot or romantic getaway spot in Africa, but that's all I ever really knew about it until a friend asked that we celebrated his birthday over there sometime last year. Let's just say it was just one unforgettable experience. So Tanzania is a country located on the eastern part of Africa and is home to the highest mountain in Africa, the majestic Kilimanjaro. Although another part of it lies in Kenya, it's got a population of over 63 million people and covers an area of 947,303 kilometers, making it the largest country in this region. Tanzania is the 13th largest country in Africa and the 31st in the entire world. Tanzania is basically a fusion of Tanganyika and Zanzibar, thus making it Tanzania. You get it? If you don't, forget about it. The main languages spoken amongst the 120 ethnic groups is Swahili and more formally English. The weather varies greatly within Tanzania. Temperatures ranges between 10 to 20 degrees during cold and hot seasons respectively. The weather is mostly good for year-round travel with major rainfall periods between October to December and March to May respectively. But now that you know a little bit about this amazing country, it's time to know how to gain access to it. It's time to talk about visas and health requirements. If you're a US, UK, Nigerian or African citizen needing to travel to Tanzania, you will need a visa. Foreign nationals may apply for a visa online in advance of travel. Thankfully, you can get e-visas online directly from the Tanzanian immigration website or through your local travel agent or tour operator. I got mine from my visa plug, VisaPoint, and I'll drop their link in the video description below. So there are a couple of ways in which you can actually get to Tanzania. The likes of Kenya Airways, Air Tanzania, Precision Air, Rwanda Air, Qatar Airways will get you there, just to mention a few. However, I traveled through Ethiopian Airlines where I had the most amazing experience. In fact, something crazy happened over there and you can find the video somewhere on the screen. I don't know if you guys can see this, but that's Mount Kilimanjaro down there and it's being covered by the clouds. Amazing. So, welcome to the island of Zanzibar. I landed in Zanzibar after a long stopover in Ethiopia and we had a quick stop in Kilimanjaro before taking a short trip to Zanzibar. After a couple of days, I later flew from Salaam to Zanzibar, which was one of the shortest trips ever made. I must confess, it was a bumpy ride, but Precision Air got us there safely. It was a very, very short flight, but I prayed throughout. I just had to. So after doing all the research to travel, buying my plane tickets and getting ready to go, the interesting thing was that I had actually not fully decided on where I was going to stay. Coincidentally, I met this particular chap on the flight I was in that somehow led me to the hotel he was staying in, and it was a huge surprise. Somewhere along the line, I landed at the Zanzibar Beach Resort. Barely 40 minutes drive away from the airport. It was amazing. It was paradise on earth. 4-star hotel, and it had everything to keep you there. In fact, if you left your country and just went to stay there, it was a deserved stay. It had great meals, it had great rooms, very comfy rooms. It had this eclectic, it had this African and Arabian vibe to it, and it had four large swimming pools. It had a spa, it had a massage, it had an exercise area. The meals were great. The staff were accommodating and very, very friendly. And they had a couple of events even lined up within the resort. It was totally amazing. And of course, it was overlooking the turquoise blue waters of the Indian Ocean. The Zanzibar Beach Resort, I highly recommend you should check it out. So a couple of days later, I wanted something quite a little bit different. So guys, I hate to say goodbye, but the trip to Zanzibar is over right now, and we're going to our next stop. And I decided to find my way down to Dar es Salaam. So we're here in the middle of the Indian Ocean on our way to Dar es Salaam. Welcome to Dar es Salaam, the former capital of Tanzania. Now let me tell you a little bit about Dar es Salaam. Dar es Salaam is nothing like Zanzibar. It's a commercial city, and in fact, it's a more energetic city, and it's all about business and the grind, you know, that kind of stuff. So if you're going to compare Dar es Salaam, you'll be looking at cities like Lagos, cities like Johannesburg. It has more of that kind of feel. But looking for where to stay, I ended up at the Tanzanite apartment in the, I think around the Victoria area of the city, and it was amazing. It was amazing. It was a hotel apartment, but what even made it much more warm for me was the host, Luca. This is a shout out to Luca Manyerere. I hope I'm getting your name right. Luca made it an amazing time, an amazing stay. He hooked me up with where to eat. He hooked me up to how to get around the city. He hooked me up to all the nice spots in the city, and it was amazing. In fact, the Tanzanite apartment had a gym. It had a swimming pool. It had, I mean, the view of the city was breathtaking. It was a very nice place to stay. And anytime I come back to Dar es Salaam, I'm sure to go back there again. So let's say I enjoyed Zanzibar so much that I had to return. I ended up at this amazing hotel in the heart of Stone Town, the Down Palace Hotel. The hotel's building has been standing there for centuries, like since like 1591 or something, if I'm getting this right. And it was simply enchanting. I think that's the word, enchanting. Like I've not used that word since like forever. Simply enchanting. It had history, it had tradition, it had great meals, and they found a unique blend between the historic and the urban. The Down Palace Hotel, simply amazing. Tanzania is a traveler's paradise because it's got so much to see and do. Right from Stone Town, historic Stone Town, to the wildlife in Serengeti, to the hiking in Mount Kilimanjaro. You know those boys that you see jumping in some of your Instagram videos? I saw them live at the Forodani Park. I took a boat ride on the Indian Ocean, the blue Indian Ocean, down to Chengu and Prison Island. And I mean, I went through the old forts and museums in the heart of Stone Town, Zanzibar, and I mean, I even spent, I had a full moon party at the Kendwa Beach Resort. Tanzania is a traveler's paradise. You should check it out. So getting around Tanzania was rather interesting. So they had this bodabodas and they had bajajes. In fact, what was interesting to me was that they actually had this, they have Uber, but whenever you check on the Uber app, what you actually see is tricycles and motorcycles. So I was like, where are all the cars? And they told me that because of the fuel situation or the cost of fuel in the country, they were not, I mean, a lot of cars could not afford to be on the app anymore. However, if you actually want to use the normal taxes, be sure to hold the local currency, which is the Tanzanian shilling, so that you do not get overpriced or get tourist fares. So as you all know, communication is very important when you get into any country. And that's why I'm going over to pick up a SIM card. They've got a couple of mobile networks that you can use. Zantel, Vodacom, right? Amongst others, I can't remember the others. And it's very easy. You can just buy your SIM card. Please make sure you don't buy your SIM card at the airport because you're going to be paying a bit more for it. But you can go into the local markets or stores and malls, and you can easily pick up your SIM card, buy your data, and from there you are easily connected to the internet. Although the connection in Zanzibar was not quite good, and even within the hotels, but it will get you connected to the rest of the world. So now you may want to ask me, so between your flights, your accommodation, your feeding, getting to attractions, all this is going to cost money, right? And the first thing you need to know is that the Tanzanians spend the Tanzanian shilling, which is about $1 to about 2,300, 2,400 Tanzanian shilling, right? So you can exchange the Kenyan shilling at the airport, you can exchange pounds, you can exchange dollars, you can exchange even the dirham, United Arab Emirates dirham, you can exchange it there at the airport. Those are the currencies and the euro, of course, that are largely accepted in Tanzania. So, but such that you do not get to pay tourist fees for anything, it is best to change your dollar, your pounds, or your euros, change the Tanzanian shilling such that you can pay for goods and services while you're over there. There are traditional ATMs where you can actually access cash and they work, and you can also use your credit cards, MasterCard, Visa cards to actually make payments over there. So we've come to the end of this video. I'm not going to pretend like in a couple of days I experienced the whole of Tanzania. I'm sure there's so many things I missed out upon, although I still had an amazing time. But I'm sure some of you are looking like, you didn't experience this, you didn't experience this, you didn't experience this, you experienced this. Please remember to leave a comment below on all the things that I missed out upon. And as the locals will say, Hakuna Matata, fingers crossed, I'll be sure to do this next time and share this with you. And this trip would have been made possible without the support of you guys that made my time in Tanzania an excellent one. From the hotels to the airlines to the resorts to the tour guides to everyone that made my time in Tanzania simply unforgettable, right? I want to thank you, and more importantly, I want you, the viewer, to like, share, and subscribe. That's how you can actually help us support this channel, right? Where we keep bringing you great travel videos and great experiences across the continent. So thanks for watching, and like the Tanzanians would say in Swahili, kwaheri. See you on the next one.